hello there, Seraphim17 once again. This is my Devil May Cry 4 Dante Must Die Triple S rank walkthrough. This is Mission 18, the Destroyer, and we're once again in the capable hands of Dante taking on the giant saviour statue thing. So this is an interesting level, this one, folks. I never remember it being very challenging to get the rank on, and thus I don't really remember it too much, so all the strategies that I once had for it, I couldn't really remember. What I did remember was somehow I was able to hit him with drive early on in the fight and stun him quickly, but when I tried it, you know, coming back to the game after quite some time, I just couldn't do it. I don't know what I did before to make him susceptible to the drive, but I remember it being really effective, and for the life of me I couldn't make it work the same. Which just goes to show, you know, when you don't play something for a long time, you do dull the blade that you once had with it. But we still get the rank, we still get through it, and this video, for all intents, is going to help you, hopefully, get yours too. So the things to know about the Saviour is you have to break all the jewels across his body. For the most, it's pretty simple. There's a couple of nagging issues with this level that I never really liked when it came out, and I still don't really like. The first one is the jump pads. I would prefer them to be the ones where you just walked onto them, because then there would be none of that finicky bullshit of missing your jump and getting hit. And that can happen a lot, and although you can, you know, play better and have that work, it's still kind of a pain in the ass when it fails you, when you feel like it shouldn't have. And I don't know if you're going to see... yeah, right there. That's a great example of it. I take a big hit because I couldn't get on the platform as quick as I would have liked, thanks to, you know, mostly my error, but also the way that the game handles this. And it's funny because all the way through the game there's been moments where I've been knocked into doorways I didn't want to go through, and it's had no problem teleporting me to an area and resetting fights, but the one area where it would be nice to just run onto something and get teleported, it doesn't do it, which I always found quite funny. But the second one is there are endlessly spawning enemies, and it's a double-sided sword, this, because not only are you capable of getting a lot of style points off them should you need them, but they can also mess you up should you get sloppy. And getting sloppy is very easy to do in this game, as you see with this video. My strategy used to be Royal Guard heavy as well. I used to guard a lot of things like this. Very simple to guard, builds your guard meter decidedly quick, and all of his standard melee attacks are pretty easy to guard against as well. Those orbs there can be shot and they will give you Devil Trigger. I think the only real trick here is the frustration that you can get sometimes from not really knowing how to do this or an effective way of doing it. And some moments like this where the clipping and the collision is making me miss with my Lucifer, because you can just attack his body and do damage to him, but I was stuck at this point. I couldn't get... there we go. He moves his hand and we're all good again. Here comes the big slam. That was me showing you that you can, in fact, change styles on the fly to evade, which is insanely important, and I'm terrible at it. If you want to get good at this game, that's the first thing I would recommend you do, learning how to swap styles effectively. Something I just never did. But this fella here is useful because we can knock him up with Prop Shredder, and then we can hit him with the Devil Trigger Distortion. That way we can kill him rather quickly, get some quick style points, and we can move on to destroy more of the jewels. I'm firing the Pandora's Box at the jewels because it generally one-shots them. And you can use shotgun, you can use your pistol, you can use whatever the hell you like, really. It's a very flexible mission for score, and back in the day I would say it was probably one of the easiest ones to get a good rank on. Because once you know how to deal with the statue and bring him down, it's just a case of doing it swiftly. And this took me about 3 or 4 recordings to get this one. It wasn't failing the style requirements, it was dying, believe it or not. It was just one of those moves where one time I tried to do the the Royal Guard on the laser beam on the second half and my timing just wasn't there. And another time was doing something that I used to do, which was laying traps with Lucifer to trap his hand when he does a punch, to stun him in the final phase when you run out of ways to stun him, to get him to do the, you know, layback so you can finish him thing. And it turned out that I wasn't quite out of the range of the blast, although on the screen I was. It just must have had a hell of an after effect, so he squished me. But once you come up here, there's two on his back. There's a bunch of faults that spawn in this area, which is so stupid. It's one of those enemies that just really frustrates me. I also had footage of me jump cancelling this fellow, but the funny thing you find is the missions where I do all the crazy attempts of being stylish with jump cancel and style switching, I'll never get the S ranks. I always get like ASS or SAS or SSA, which is one that's haunted me quite a lot. So I thought it was funny that almost all the footage you've seen me do on these ranked videos has been the ones where I just kind of got there in the end. But this moment here, you can Royal Guard this if you want to. I just bounce around the arena. Once you bounce around the arena and he stops doing it, it's going to go into the phase where his life bar is vulnerable and you can actually attack him. And then from that point onwards, there are a couple of ways to hurt him. You can hurt him in any of the means to hit his body, if you can actually hit him. And then there are a platform you can stand on that makes him come close to you, which is this one. So if you stand on this one, and it doesn't get destroyed by that giant laser beam, he will come towards you and his jewel on his head will be vulnerable and his chest jewel will be vulnerable. If you're really good at doing the distorted attacks, you can do distorted straights with Gilgamesh and you can do really big damage, but I'm not very good at them, so I just mashed kick 13 and then I'll do a Devil Trigger distort on this because the distort is massively damaging. And I do it into a Stinger B, which is probably called something different on this one. But all you need to do now is stun him. Do enough damage to put him in a stunned state so that you can go and finish off his core. And I had more difficulties doing it because I couldn't hit him with the drives and I'd just forgotten how to do it. You know, there's no excuse really, it's just how it is. I was hoping I could hit him with these and then they lock on and everything just started really failing me. It's just my ignorance that's impeding it. So what you can do for these, which is something I used to do, is you can put a bunch of Lucifer spikes on in front of you, wait for him to punch, dodge the punch, and then detonate the Lucifers to do some really big damage. It's a super effective way of doing it, but I just decided not to, apparently. I get stubborn sometimes. I try to do things different ways, and sometimes it doesn't work. So you'll notice I'm doing a lot of shooting here. Those always give you Devil Trigger. That's an instance where I would have liked to have gotten the jump pad, but I got kind of cock-blocked. Just how it works. Be careful too, when you move too far through these, you eventually get to dead ends where you can't hit the jump pads, because there are none, because he's destroyed the next platform. Also, another option would be to Royal Guard. Did that hit him? Oh, it finally hit him! There we go. And it stunned him, which is cool to see. And he's doing the laser. And my drive missed. And I'm about to get lasered. So this is a panicky moment. But I'm sure there's a million videos on YouTube of people bringing this guy down in like 3 minutes. So if you want a faster way of doing it, there are plenty online. I guarantee it. There'll be some of the sickest things you've probably ever seen as well. Because that's what the internet's like. Here comes the kick. That's one of the hardest ones to Royal Guard, I found. All the other attacks are really simple to Royal Guard. That one is the one that catches me out when I do it, and I did die trying to do Royal Guard in one of the previous recordings, so that's the reason why you don't see me messing with it too much. So, can we hit him? You think... Oh, did it? Did it? It did! Yay! I think I just had a pattern of landing drives really effectively and stunning him with them. And it's one of those feels, isn't it? Once you know a game, you know exactly when to do something. Like that one was a little bit better, but still quite slow. Maybe round trip would reach him. Then again, can you even do round trip in this game? I can't remember. I know you can do it with Pandora's Box, but I don't know if it counts as technically round trip. Oh, here we go. As soon as he comes back to this, we're all good, because we know we can land a stunning blow on him here. So maybe to speed that up I could have gone all the way back round to that platform and he'd have come close again. But I can almost guarantee you folks, sometimes when you try it, he doesn't do it. It's one of those just ironic things. But there you go. That's the end of Mission 18. 9 minutes 18 seconds for the S, 5,500 points for the S, and I got all the orbs because I don't think there are any orbs, which is nice to know. By no means an impressive score, but it's one less S rank you need to worry about, and there are only 2 missions left. One of them's a massive boss gauntlet, the other one is a really quick fight against an asshole. So thank you very much for watching, and you take care now.